Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Wake Up Missoula. I'm your host, Scott Ramf, and I'm here to usher you in through the week of January 15th, I believe. Today is January 17th, of course. I'm here to talk about weather, your snow report, some news items. I got some new programs going to be airing on MCAT, including all of the after-school program flagship programs that you can watch anytime now on video on demand at mcat.org. But let's kick things off with a little bit of weather. Currently, it is 14 degrees outside. It's not too cold. Actually, I was outside. It wasn't that bad at all. But apparently there's freezing frog according to the weather. The high is going to be 36. The low is going to be 29. So it's going to be much better throughout the rest of this week. You're going to see high temperatures into the low 40s. So your high is going to be 40 by Thursday. Thursday night, your low is going to be 29. And then things are going to be a little bit chillier by Friday. But, of course, you have that 40 to 30% chance of snow, but of course Thursday you can have that rain and snow mixtures, so be aware that maybe your Friday morning you'll have some icy roads, so just be aware of that. But let's take a look at our snow report. It seems like Whitefish had about an inch of snow in the last 24 hours. Great Divide hasn't had any snow since the last 72 hours. Red Lodge hasn't had anything. So pretty much most of these places, like Big Sky Resort, hasn't had any fresh snow, but they're all green to go. So it looks like it's going to be sunny and partly cloudy in those two particular areas right here. If we go down here just a little bit, Montana Snow Bowl looks pretty good. It's going to be cloudy that day. Showdown Montana is going to be pretty sunny. So no fresh powder out in the snow, but hopefully later this week we'll have that snowfall that's happening Friday to continue on throughout the week as well. Let's kick things off and let's talk about a little bit about what's happening in the news. So this is from David Erickson in the Missoulian. The fire season was much talked about last year, and going into this upcoming fire season has many folks concerned about how much this is going to cost, since this last fire season was one of the most expensive fire seasons on record. Missoula Area Chamber of Commerce invited people from different fields to talk about this. Many of the things were of the Great Burn in 1910, which torched about 3 million acres in Washington, Idaho, and the Montana area. The U.S. Forest Service adopted a policy to try to prevent and battle every wildfire. Since then, it was standard policy to try to put out fires during the night so they would be controlled by 10 a.m. the next day. Of course, many trees at that point were ready. Many trees at this point right now are ready to burn bad again this year. The 2017 wildfire season was a record, which was at $400 million total. 62 million of which was the Montana state money, prompting cuts to other state-funded services. Many of the things discussed is how people can build fireproof housing, starting with bush and vegetation that is thick and close to people's homes. So the whole idea is that if you have a kindle and fire burn material near your home, the fire will make it to your home. That's one of the easiest things you guys can do, is to have a good space between your flora and green. I guess, man, I'm trying to figure out exactly how to say it right. Is that your yard area? There should be good space between your plants and the forest itself, so there won't be any kind of burn. So a lot of times that's the quickest solution. Of course, rather than having crews having put efforts, of course, many of the efforts are put to saving a lot of these houses. That's usually a higher priority for a lot of fire crews. So by fireproofing your home, a lot of efforts in these crews can be done to help control and basically stop these burns at the source. So that's one of the things that they talked about in this meeting, and you can look and see more, because they have more tips and tricks that you guys can do for this upcoming fire season as well. In state news, looks like Montana is invading Asian countries, first with Montana beef in China, and now with forms of coal to Japan. Japan power plants will receive Montana coal under an agreement announced Tuesday by Cloud Peak Energy. The coal company said that up to 1 million tons of Spring Creek mine coal would be shipped to Fukushima Prefecture, Japan, over 30 to 40 months beginning in the end of 2019. The Billings Gazette reporter Tom Luddy reported much of the background of Japan's reasoning comes from their nuclear crisis after the earthquake and subsequent tsunami that caused many meltdowns in the areas. That being said, of course, nuclear power does remain cleaner, but of course, if things go wrong in those power plants, things go wrong. Cloud Peak president and CEO Colin Marshall said that in the announcement the other day is that he's hopeful that the same technology will lead to no coal-fired power plants in the United States. So the whole idea is that they're trying to get coal from Montana to help run electricity in a way, and part of that partnership is to have that kind of coal burning technology for converting coal into natural gas, which also lowers the amount of carbon emissions that get produced from that. The first of the 540 megawatt power plants is expected to begin operation in September 2020, according to this announcement. In national news, one of the big things that are happening in the U.S. in general is the shift in rape culture. The rape of someone with an intellectual disability remains one of the hardest crimes for police to investigate and one of the hardest to prosecute to win in court. A victim with an intellectual disability may have trouble speaking or may not have the words at all, and when victims can speak, they can't speak. They may have trouble telling people precise details, which makes them easy to confuse in a courtroom. Adults with disabilities are not children. The investigators know that they can't treat them the same way, but there's one thing that helps with both. Every police officer and prosecutor gets training in interview techniques on how to ask concrete questions that make it easier for children and people with intellectual disabilities to answer more completely. But a lot of times with people with mental disabilities is they don't understand metaphors or certain ways that people are talking to them, or they don't understand certain situations. Many people, data shows that allegations of sexual assault rarely result in prosecutions. In Texas, fewer than 1% of allegations were confirmed. In Florida, about 5% were verified. In Ohio, 23% were sustained between 2012 and 2015. In Pennsylvania, 34% of allegations were confirmed, but only 40% of those who were referred to law enforcement. Pennsylvania was the only state that provided referral data to NPR. So NPR is where I got this story from. It's an interesting article that you should read. It's a lot longer than what I'm saying. Of course, today's prosecutors have more weapons to bring these cases forward. There's better protection of the rights of rape victims in courts. There are many more laws to protect people with disabilities. And for evidence, there's DNA testing. Of course, you can go to full story at npr.org. And that pretty much sums it up for what's happening in and around Missoula, Montana, and the United States. Here are some of the new programs that are going to be airing on MCAT. There isn't too many programs, but there is a big program with all my after-school programs that I work with, the flagship programs in MCAT's Movie Making Club. And then when I come back, I'll talk about everything you guys need to do out and about in the city of Missoula. So here's this.
Basically, I was standing there, and a massive beast came up to me, bigger than the Empire State Building. He was all like, and I took out my Glock and fired 6 shots at him, killing him instantly. And then he came back to life by the power of Satan and tried to kill me. But they shot lasers from my hands and incinerated his chest, and his ghost haunts the school to this day.
All right, X, we're gonna go get him. Yep. Going up there. I'm gonna save you, puppy. Oh no. All right, let's go home, puppy. Yes.
So, I have a girlfriend who has a friend. Do you wanna meet her?
First of all, yes, for the girlfriend. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And as meeting her, no.
Why?
Porcupines have been declining, and we're not sure why. We've spent several years, many years, trying to understand whether it's a disease effect or loss of habitat or predation from fisher or something else, and we haven't been able to determine what's causing the porcupines to decline. This is going on from Canada to New Mexico. I've been working with biologists across the western U.S., and they're all seeing the same thing. But it's anecdotal, and they really don't know what's causing this. It's very easy to knock porcupine populations down by killing them because they reproduce so slowly. I mean, you shoot one female and you know, you've probably taken out the population in 100 square miles. So it's really easy to knock that species down.
All right, so those are some of the new programs that will be airing on MCAT. The Montana Festival of the Book will be airing as well. It's going to be part 10 of the ongoing series. I'm not sure if that's the last program that will be airing on MCAT, but just stay tuned. MCAT does the Montana Festival of the Book all weekend long as well. If you're interested in finding out more information about MCAT, you go to MCAT.org. MCAT.org is your resource for everything Missoula. If you're interested in having MCAT do a program upcoming for an event, cause, rally for a civic or nonprofit group, you can request event recording. You can go to MCAT.org for all information and more. Of course, every Wednesday at MCAT offers training for anybody who's interested in being a part of MCAT. And that happens every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. at 500 North Higgins. So you can email us at mcat@mcat.org, or you can call us at 542-6228, otherwise known as 542-MCAT. But I have a nice little short video for you guys. So here is another PSA for you guys to watch.
No matter what you're planning, if you plan to drink, plan to have a friend get you home, get ride home ideas and tools at plantolive.mt.gov.
For too long, corporate tobacco has exploited our people, manipulated our practices, and profited from our addiction. No more. If you struggle with commercial tobacco addiction, call the American Indian Commercial Tobacco Quit Line today at 1-855-372-0037 and talk to someone who understands.
Nature Nathan here, on my own in the Montana wild. I'm used to having my best mate Liam behind the camera, but he said he was rather tired of getting chased by bears. The show must go on. Set up quite nice, really. Stuff from a lovely fish dinner. And I've got my bear spray. Oh well, I should be fine for the evening.
When adventuring in bear country, remember, hike in groups. Bring bear spray and know how to use it. Make noise and don't run. Be bear aware.
Sergeant Greg Amundsen with the Missoula Police Department. I'd like to talk a little bit about bicycles riding on the sidewalks in the city of Missoula, which we see a lot because Missoula is a very bike-friendly town. I would just like to let bicyclists know that they do have to yield to pedestrians on the sidewalk safely because they travel faster than a pedestrian, so they do have to do that in a safe manner. And then when you get to a crosswalk, you are actually required to slow your bicycle down to what would be called a pedestrian pace, and you cannot begin crossing until it's safe to do so.
Your smartphone can help you find a bar, alert your friends that you're in the bar, update you on your team while you're at the bar, And now, let you know you need a ride home from the bar. That is smart. Download blood alcohol calculators for your phone at plantolive.mt.gov.
Buckle up, Montana. Life is a ride you want to stay on. Send a buckle up reminder to a friend at plantolive.mt.gov.
Senior Corps at Missoula Aging Services is Missoula's volunteer hub. Hundreds of volunteer opportunities await. You can help improve reading skills, school attendance, and the well-being of students, provide services that help older adults, or find out about countless other opportunities that will capture your interest. Because your heart's desire never ages, now is the time to reinvent yourself. Discover your perfect volunteer opportunity by calling 728-7682.
Sergeant Greg Amos with the Missoula Police Department. I'd like to talk a little bit about something I see downtown routinely, and that is pedestrians crossing against the pedestrian heads. So I'd just like to explain what is actually legal. You cannot begin crossing in the crosswalk when it's either flashing and in the countdown or solid red. The only time it's legal to begin crossing in that crosswalk is when the white crossing sign is displayed. What the countdown is for, and the only thing that that's there for, is to tell you how much time you have to finish crossing the street, presuming that you started when it was legal to do so.
Without MCAT, without community access television, and the many supporters of community programming, we wouldn't be able to do that. So thanks, MCAT. Happy birthday. Lovely to see you all. And we'll see you on Monday night.
So again, thank you, MCAT, for all that you do for this community. And we look forward to another 3 decades.
And congratulations on MCAT for 27 years. And let's keep it going for many, many more.
So again, congratulations to MCAT on 27 years of service to the community. We're hoping for many, many, many more.
So we're so grateful. Thank you, MCAT. Love you guys.
And nobody does a better job of informing, empowering, and engaging people than MCAT. So happy birthday, MCAT.
Hey guys, welcome back. Let's talk about some events that are happening in and around the city of Missoula. Early Artist Program is starting at Zootown Arts Community Center. This is I believe it's a 6-week course happening starting at 9 a.m. this morning. So every Wednesday starting at 9 a.m. Early Artist Program is at the Zootown Arts Community Center. MISA and MISMO and Roots, so Missoula Indoor Sports Arena, MISMO Gymnastics, and Roots Agro Sports Center all start their all their little kids tumble and gymnastics stuff starting as early as now until about noon today. They have some stuff in the afternoon, but this is more geared towards younger children who are just getting involved with gymnastics. Tiny Tales starts at 10:30 in the new Missoula Food Bank. This is powered by Empowered Place, and it's going to be hosted at the Missoula Food Bank, so you can check that out. It starts at 10:30 this morning, and it's for kids who are learning to read and to get kids interested into books, maybe cookbooks, because Missoula Food Bank is all about that because they have a nice little kitchen there. It's really cool. It's a good excuse to go check it out as well. Virtual Reality Spectrum Discovery Center is open for visitors of all ages to explore. Their location at 812 Toole Street. They're doing Goldie Blocks, Ozobots from 2 to 5:30 p.m. today as well. So if you guys are interested in going to the Senior Center to do some Scrabble or Bridge, 12:30-ish is the right amount of time to go to the Missoula Senior Center. Facebook, learn about Facebook at Missoula Public Library. Become familiar with the social networking site Facebook, learn how to set up an account and how to use basic features. This class is for those who don't have an account or are new to the Facebook. Registration is required by calling at 721-BOOK or 721 2665. And this happens from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. in the computer classroom at the Missoula Public Library. So it's not too long. You get a nice little introduction into it and how to get involved with Facebook as well, because Facebook is another way that people use to expand and promote themselves as well. NAMI Crafts, the NAMI Missoula hosts a free weekly arts and crafts groups for adults living with mental illness. No registration is required. All materials are provided. You can call them at 880-1013 for more information. Middle School Writers Group is for middle school kids who want to learn to write or improve their writing skills at the Missoula Public Library, starting at 3:30 and going to about 5 p.m. today. They have chocolate and stuff. Zentangle Workshop is going to be at the Missoula Public Library. There's a lot of things out at the Missoula Public Library, so you might as well just stick around. Find out how to learn the process of Zentangle drawing during a class. Supplies are provided. Space is limited to 24 participants. Usually they only have about 12, so it's a good way to register online. They have links at the MissoulaPublicLibrary.org website. Bring your printed ticket with you. Register online at tinyurl at .com/Zentangle. Oh, sorry, it's a long title. Zentangle Jan 2018, 6 p.m. So just be aware that they probably have a link to the Missoula events page, but also Missoula Public Library as well. Why do they do that? Families First Children's Museum, they're doing a classes will be held at Franklin Elementary School from 6:15 to 8:15 p.m. Behavior is a form of communication, especially for children. For example, when a child hits a sibling, fails to listen to mom or dad when asked to go to bed, or refuses to complete homework, or he or she is attempting to tell us something. Understand what the kids are attempting to communicate can help you understand their behavior, be proactive in managing their behavior, and reinforce the behaviors that you want to see more often. The class is free, but registration is required at MissoulaClasses.com, and it's going to be at Families First Children's Museum, hosted at Franklin Elementary School. So this is just some behavior things, and it's always nice to get another perspective on how to work with kids rather than just dealing with them. Poetry Slam at 7 p.m. tonight at E3 Convergence Gallery. The Slam is back for a new year this month. They were excited to see a guest host, Gabriel Slammer Extraordinaire. Start off with a big bang, bring your A game, and compete with a verbal prowess, or be the one of the judges to make your opinion known, or sit back and enjoy the show. No matter how you slice it, these slams are always fun and unique evenings, so don't miss. They hold these monthly at the E3 Convergence Gallery, and it's a nice little poetry slam. But of course, be aware it is some may not be suitable for some ages, because it is free expression of your art through poetry slam. Here are some things that are happening tonight as well. Wednesday, Missoula Open Deck Society DJ Dance Party. Karaoke contest is going to be at the Eagles Lodge. Karaoke is going to be at the Summer Saloon, and then karaoke is going to be at the Bandlander tonight for your Wednesday night. Trivia Beer Suit at the Press Box. You got trivia and bingo and all sorts of wonderful trivia nights happening all over around the city of Missoula, so you can check it out by going to MissoulaEvents.net. All right, I'm going to show you guys Dubbin stuff. I held back just a little bit further, but here is Dubbin stuff, and when I come back, I'm going to talk about what the city of Missoula will be talking about today, along with some of your Thursday events right after this.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah! Shabam! Yeah, shabam! Are you ready, boys? What's your blah, 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 blah. And over. Up and over.
All right, boys, stand in line. Would you look at these jokers? What happened to you guys? You kind of look ridiculous. Nice bloodstain and beard, gender-specific insult.
They're gold in them hills.
You guys would look ridiculous in those suits, by the way. You should all go to the suit factory.
All right, boy, that's enough.
There's a reason why we're here. Gym membership's $20 a year. Do you have a premium package? Whoosh.
Huh?
Well, you really didn't answer my question. Oh.
You better take off your sunglasses.
Ow, my nose.
These guys want a premium membership. What do you think?
1, 2, 3.
No!
not bad.
You know, I just want to work on my quads, my delts, my tris, my bis.
What was that?
I said tris. I said tris. I swear. I said tris. It's a muscle in your body that you need to work out. So, you know, if you can help me with that, that would be very appreciative towards me and my crew here.
Tries are very important.
Another exciting cliffhanger. Will this man get a premium membership? Will Tito admit there is no premium membership? And will this lady stop staring at the camera? Find out next time on Dubbin Stuff Miami Connection.
I told you guys I'm going to be doing a series of just that movie for just a little while, and then I'll probably throw it back to the old Dubbin stuff, whatever. All right, let's talk about some city council stuff. The city of Missoula is kind of moving forward a little bit on transitioning the new members of the city council. There's not much going on there. They have the city county health update, which is may or may not happen. That's one of the things that I looked up online as well. But land use and planning, the historic preservation officer Emily Shearer will present to the city in the Historic Preservation Commission an explanation of the purpose of admission, the structure, and the membership of the HPC will be given. The appreciation will lay down the basis of background knowledge so that when they revisited her historic preservation demolition permit ordinance is introduced to city at the end of January 2018, new city council members will have a frame of reference. So that's the whole idea, is that this is kind of like an introduction into their plan to demolish historic preservation permits, and just how they go about moving forward on this. Kind of like most of this background was as a result of the mercantile that got torn down, as you may or may not have seen, downtown Missoula. And they're going to kind of discuss how Historic Preservation Commission, which has actually gotten a little bit smaller and a little more rigorous when it comes to having membership as well, for any kind of future land use and planning methods as well. So I'll talk more about this in the Friday meeting, because this is a committee meeting that's going to be happening this afternoon in the city council chambers. So let's switch gears and let's talk some more about events, some Thursday events. I'm just going to switch to this camera. Hey guys, Thursday, starting tomorrow morning, is the NAMI Missoula weekly meeting. Free weekly meeting for anyone affected by mental illness, including relatives, friends, and caregivers, are interested in learning more about NAMI, starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Also, meditation for veterans is going to be at the Learning Center at Red Willow. If you're interested in doing some meditation and learning to control your breath, and it's a guide for mindfulness practice, exploring the method of paying attention to the breath to increase calm and to reduce stress. And that's going to be at the Learning Center for Red Willow, and it's meditation for veterans. Overwintering in spotted knapweed is going to be at the Missoula Sectarium, starting at 3 p.m. Did you know that the larvae in the seed headfly likes to spend winters inside the tops of the invasive spotted knapweed? So come explore these little guys under the microscope and learn more about these powerful biological control. Stop in any time between 3 and 5 p.m. and this is for kids to learn about bugs. Another thing that's going to be happening tomorrow night at Imagination Brewing Company is that MCAT's going to be live streaming Humanities Montana on Humanities Montana's Facebook page about fake news in a post-truth era. Whether it's celebrity clickbait, your crazy uncle on Facebook, or news articles you disagree with, everyone's raising an alarm about fake news. Join professional journalists and scholars to discuss how we got here and what happens when we can't agree on the facts. This event is free and open to the public, and will be also live streaming on the Facebook page, and you'll be able to see it again through MCAT sometime in the future as well. Dodgeball is back, and it's going to be at the Missoula Indoor Sports Arena starting at 9 p.m. tonight. Blaze Dodgeball is hosted by the Blaze 106.3. They sponsor this event every year, and it seems to be very popular because they keep doing it. So grab your crew and sign up today. It's a full season, 6 weeks, starting tonight, or single week registration is available. Register at the MissoulaIndoor.com. So it's going to be a bunch of adults throwing balls at each other. So here are some of your late night events that are happening for Thursday night. You got some live jazz at Plonk. Milltown Dam is going to be playing some folk bluegrass music at the Top Hat Lounge. Hambone and the Headliners is going to be at the Sunrise Saloon. Rocking Karaoke is going to be at the Dark Horse, and this is all happening Thursday night. And you can find out more by going to MissoulaEvents.com. net. So that about does it for me on this morning of January 17th. Let me double check that. Yes, it is January 17th, Wednesday. Thanks for joining me. It was a very short show. Martin Luther King Day was on Monday, so there was no city council, so I have nothing to talk about in terms of that. So thanks for joining me, and for Wake Up Missoula, I'm Scott Ramph. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you guys more about what's happening in the city and more this Friday on Wake Up Missoula.
Thank you.